I think that that's very important, because I think that someone who actually is interested in maintaining health, there are two aspects. There are some general sort of health aspects to maintaining healthiness. But I think a huge part of it is also to be aware a lot of the things that I do are very much customized based on the kinds of issues and problems that I've had. Like, I have a bit of a leg length difference. I've had some back issues. I've had a variety of different things. So there needs to be emphasis on weak spots in particular, almost like someone would train as an athlete. If you're John Isner and you have a great serve and a weak backhand, you need to work on your backhand to shore that up, or that kind of aspect. So if you find that there are particular health areas, that's where you really need to be spending the amount of time. And it really makes me think the kind of effort and focus and emphasis that someone like Novak Djokovic has to maintain the level of physicality that he has takes very specific knowledge. And someone like Rafa or Roger or Novak or Andy Murray trains very differently based on there are some similarities, but there are also large differences based on the kinds of problem areas and things that you learn about yourself. So it's really a learning process.
My tennis coach, Gene, told me that if I had the groin pull, I told him that I do a lot of functional training. I think I'm an elite trainer, especially on the therapeutic and the maintenance side. When I first got my first website in 2008, it was maintenanceworkout.com. And I said, that sounds strange to me that was available. That shows me that, in my opinion, there's too much emphasis on performance training and weight loss training. There's not enough on maintenance training. So I've kind of billed myself as one of the pioneers of maintenance fitness. I'm a little bit different than Jack LaLanne, is that I play a lot of sports. Muhammad Ali and Jack LaLanne had maybe three main things that they did. And for Muhammad Ali, one of them was hanging out at the Playboy Mansion and having a lot of girlfriends. So he got physical activity in some other ways that were not appropriate for his Muslim faith, but that were common in the Hollywood area at that time. But so I play a lot of different sports, but my default setting is the Jack LaLanne setting, is do the physical training every day. And that's just the way it is. And I don't see it as a hard thing. And if it's on the maintenance level and it's very varied and it's outdoors, I never get bored of it. I get into this kind of a Zen state. But my tennis coach said, go to the ocean. So I believe that good coaches need really good coaches. And when I shared that with the athlete I was speaking of before, who had the brother who was like a Jack Lambert on and off the field, he said, no. He said, don't think of it that way. He said, and he's a coach. He said, good coaches need even better coaches. So let me know what your thoughts are on that statement.
Well, I think that's true. I think one of the things that is very important is that if you approach whether it is nutrition or even physical training or exercise as something that you dread, the odds of maintaining a pattern of life where you do it is going to be highly unusual. It's different if you're a professional athlete and you have to do certain things and it's part of your profession. But I think that idea of a varied training, something that is really optimized for you, something that you really feel the benefits, but also where there are varieties of different things that are done that are engaging mentally. I've found with a lot of people is that if everything becomes about doing repetitions in a gym, that takes a lot of discipline to do. Where if you can still play what are games and you get lost in the activity, and then you realize, boy, at the end, I'm tired, or I've sweat a lot, or whatever the benefit was, I think that that's dramatically different and that much more interesting at maintaining a way of life as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of, cranking out the next rep.
I'll share with you what my protocol was to take care of myself and my intestinal tract. So I've been a big user of celery. It's very inexpensive. It doesn't require a lot of pesticides. That doesn't mean it doesn't have it already in the soil or it doesn't get it from other fields, but it's a pretty hardy thing. There's not a lot that I would guess that pest type bugs would want. But what it does is that people are popping in these very expensive probiotics. And what I read is that a lot of that is killed off by the acids in your stomach tract before they can get to the places that they need to get to. But the prebiotics, which is this fiber that allows the probiotics in your system to multiply to the billions or trillions, whatever they go to. And then if you did pop in, a probiotic, or you ate some yogurt or kombucha or something that has the probiotic, it has a place to live, just like the jaguar lives in the jungle. And then, so within 2 meals, I didn't have to take Imodium and all these concoctions.
Right.
I went right to this. I didn't throw in a lot of mixtures of acid and sugars and spicy stuff. I just kind of did my thing, took my siesta. So that was how I fixed my intestinal tract. And under 3 meals, I was back in good standing. And then I started doing some ocean training. So all the different medley strokes. I'm a big proponent of not swimming the freestyle over and over because you'll wear out your rotator cuff and other parts. I swim every stroke, including one I call the back fly, where I'm opening everything up. So it's like the butterfly, but it's done on your back. And I don't get water in my nose that way like I do with the normal backstroke. So those are some things that I did, and I'll share some more, but maybe share with me when you learned about gut health and what you did initially to work on that, what you're doing now about gut health.
Well, I think for me, one of the important things was the importance of vegetables in a diet, high quality vegetables, but also a lot of raw. That a lot of fiber and roughage and those kinds of things are with as much processed food as is being eaten, and your system often doesn't adjust to that very well. But I found for me that my body has grown to crave the kind of fresh fruits and vegetables and things, and much of it being uncooked in order to work well. And a difficulty is when you're traveling. Like, I know it was always difficult. Like, I was looking for vegetables, and you'd go to be in Europe, and they would, I'd say, steam the vegetables. Well, they'd steam the vegetables, but then they douse them with butter, and they do all this kind of stuff. So I think, to me, that's again a learning experience. Everyone's stomach is a bit different, but I think there are some basics. An important thing, and consulting with a nutrition and experimenting there. And I think for most people also, celery is not going to be the most exciting thing necessarily to start, but once you get in the habit of it, you begin to appreciate it. It's like with so many things. If you're used to eating processed foods. So, and I think, Sifu, back to what you said before, I think that one of the things I've learned as a coach is that